Is the idea of investing in a franchise overwhelming to you? You're not alone. Lucky for you, there are free resources, hint, hint, that can help you make this life-changing decision with confidence. Stick around to see what I mean. From discovery day to decision day, such a fun time, said no candidate ever. Listen, when you begin exploring a franchise, everything you're doing from the beginning of your process, from dreaming about owning a business to all the physical due diligence to getting to this moment, everything is about this moment. So why then is this moment so hard? Well, because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're about to make probably one of the biggest investments you've ever made in your life. So for most people, this is one of the biggest decisions, financial decisions they're ever going to make. And that's why it's such a big decision. But the Daly Coach is here today to help you through this moment. There are actually two parts of making a decision to invest in a franchise. There's the logical due diligence, the physical part to the process, and then there's the emotional process. I know men don't want to hear emotional. This is transactional. It's just a logical investment decision. But that's not true, because investing in a business requires more than a logical business decision. The numbers do have to add up. The investment has to have a great ROI, but there also has to be a strong emotional component for you to say, I want to stand up and be the owner of this business. I want to be proud to put my family name on this business. I want to put, whether it's full-time or part-time hours, I want to put those hours of my life into the creation of this business. So there is an emotional component. So let's go back to first, what is a discovery day? Well, the Daly Coach says that the discovery day should be your closing tool. Your closing tool. The franchisor is probably going to use the discovery day as their closing tool, but I'm here representing you. This discovery day event is all about you. So if you've gone through the due diligence process where you've gone through a series of phone calls with the franchisor to learn what I call the book theory of owning a business, and then you go out and you validate in the real world with the franchisees who've already said yes to this opportunity to see how they feel about it and when did they cash flow, and knowing what they know now, would they do it again? All the questions and concerns that you have, those people who've already said yes, they stood right where you're standing. So they had to do what you're doing in order to get where they are now. So those validation calls are very important. So we go through the logical phone calls with the franchisor to learn the book theory. Then we go out in the real world and we validate with the franchisees, the family of franchisees, to see how they feel about it. And all of this culminates in this Discovery Day event. The Discovery Day is the opportunity for you to go to a corporate office, or sometimes they're virtual, but to have exposure to the leadership team, the people who, after you say yes, are actually going to be the ones there coaching you, supporting you, mentoring you, training you. So during the due diligence process, you're probably working with the development people, the people whose job it is to help grow the franchise brand. So this is sort of the pass-off moment from those developers to the executive leadership team. Now, if you know anything about the Daly Coach from being here on my YouTube channel, you know that when I say you are investing in a franchise, what you're doing is buying people. You're not buying widgets. You're not buying brands. You're buying leadership and people. In 2020, brands, widgets did not keep doors open, but strong leadership did. Always, leadership and people are why we invest in franchise businesses. The whole idea that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, that you're with these people. So at this Discovery Day event, it's typically your first or one of, you might have had a phone call with an executive team, but now it's your first exposure to them face to face. So I prepare my candidates for this day, again, as their closing tool. I want you to be 80% sure that this is what you want to do. I instruct my candidates or encourage my candidates to only attend one Discovery Day. If you're using Discovery Day properly, you don't need more than one day. Those people who try to say, well, I'm going to go to 2 and then decide, in my mind, they've already decided that they're not a decision maker because they're not using the process correctly to prepare themselves fully for this Discovery Day moment. So you're 80% sure that this is what you want to do. You go to this Discovery Day event and you get to meet the leadership team of the company. And it's their opportunity to meet you because don't forget, this is a mutual evaluation process and it's their business to award to you before it's your business to buy. They have to make sure that if they say yes to you, that you have the skills, you have the financial wherewithal, you're culturally going to fit into their family. So it's a mutual evaluation and it's a day for you to meet them and them to meet you. So you're at this Discovery Day, you're 80% sure, and I'm going to ask you to go to that day and let all of the logical process go. I want you to go and I want you to feel the experience. How does it feel when these people are talking to you about their culture and their dreams? Do you buy into it? Are they believable? Do you feel like if you say yes, they will have your best interest at heart? Because this is a long-term relationship. I mean, the Daly Coach calls it a marriage, right? It's my job to prepare you from blind date to this event. Well, the event is the actual wedding day, which is you signing your franchise agreement, but this has to happen before we get to that, right? So you're going to this Discovery Day event to figure out, are these the people that you want leading and guiding the next 5, 7, 10 years of your life as a business owner? It's a mutual evaluation day. It's your day to meet them and for them to meet you and to decide if this is the right partnership. So Discovery Day will get you probably another 10%. I don't think anybody ever is going to be 100% sure that this is what they want to do because this is a big decision and it is for most people the first time they're saying yes to a business and it's a huge leap. So don't expect yourself to feel 100% sure that this is the right thing because there is no guarantee and there are things that you can't know before you say yes. And so you have to take that leap of faith. And I think that's why it's an unrealistic expectation that you can ever get to 100% sure. So at this Discovery Day event, you've done everything you can do. You meet the team, they meet you, they award you the opportunity to move forward. If you were working with the Daly Coach getting ready for this event, I would have prepared you with a financing plan. So I want my candidates going to a Discovery Day already having some idea of how they're going to fund their franchise investment. Most of my clients will have a pre-approval from an SBA lender, and those who may be considering the 401k rollover plan or the ROBS plan will probably already have engaged that, knowing that it takes about a month to have your money, and if you want to be ready to sign your franchise agreement and get into training and get going, you've got to start that process a little bit before the Discovery Day. So you get to this Discovery Day event with all the logical due diligence done, a basic funding plan, an idea of whether you're going to be using an attorney or not to review the franchise disclosure document. Now, I'm not an attorney and I'm not going to tell you not to seek legal advice, but what I typically advise is if you can read it and make sense of it, especially in a well-established franchise, you might not need to pay an attorney to review it. If you feel like you have questions about it, then take those questions out to the family of franchisees. all the other people who've already signed the franchise agreement. How did they make sense of it? Did they feel good about it? If they paid an attorney, knowing what they know now, would they spend that money again? There are some candidates, though, that even after doing this, they're just not going to feel comfortable signing a franchise agreement unless they have been represented by an attorney, and so that's fine. Just make sure it's a franchise attorney. But I would have that attorney on retainer before going to discovery day because time is of the essence. So from discovery day to decision day, it's typically about 24 to 48 hours. So decision day isn't necessarily your closing day when you're actually signing your franchise agreement and walking to the bank and wiring your money. But once you've completed the discovery day, you have all of the information you can have to say yes or no. So changing your life requires momentum. You will not change your life standing still. That's why I have a business. I have a business to help candidates understand the momentum and the process. The momentum is absolutely necessary in this process in order for the process to work out for you. So after the discovery day, you cannot introduce a 1 or 2 week delay to your decision. What you're saying to the franchisor, to your consultant, and most importantly, to yourself, if you introduce a big delay from discovery day to making a decision is, I'm probably not ready to do this. So just take yourself off the hook and tell us you're not ready. In fact, there are a lot of franchisors who will set the expectation that anything other than a yes right after discovery day is a no. Now, this is, of course, assuming that the process you've gone through is as I've outlined. You've gone through calls, you've done validation. Sometimes you get excited about a concept early, and the franchisor has a discovery day coming up. It's a little bit premature for you, but the next one's not till a month away. And you think, well, if I go now, I might not be exactly ready to say yes, but you'll know a lot more information and you'll know whether you want to dive deeper into this opportunity and try to wrap it up to say yes. So I'm not entirely opposed to that. It's not ideal, but it's also not ideal for you to miss that discovery day, be done with your due diligence, and then literally have to sit there and wait 3 or 4 weeks for the next discovery day event. Because, like I just said, changing your life requires momentum. The motion will create the emotion. And that's why at the peak of your process, which is discovery day, now you have all of the information. It's like taking a roller coaster ride up to the top of the hill, and you have all of that potential energy. And the only place you have to go at that moment is down. And the speed at which you're gonna go is really fast. So don't put yourself there. Go into your discovery day event knowing that this is your closing tool. So that's kind of the physical process to discovery day to a decision day. But let's talk a little bit about the emotional side to making a decision, because it's probably the more important side that nobody really wants to talk about. But I want to talk about it. The Daly Coach is here to talk to you about it. How do you get yourself really confident, not losing sleep at night, not sweating bullets, but feeling reasonably sure that this is a good decision for your future? There are a couple tools that I give to my candidates. So the first thing is, in the beginning of working with a candidate, I have them fill out what I call my goals and dreams worksheet. This is a rudimentary worksheet. You can make one on your own, but I also can leave it in the comments below if you would like me to. So I want to know with clarity and specifically what you're trying to achieve through this business. So personally, professionally, and financially, what do you want from this franchise investment? The more clear you are about what's driving this decision, number one, the easier it will be to select the right business, because people think it's about the right business. There is no right business. The right business presents itself when you can identify with that business how you can get to the objectives that you're trying to accomplish personally, professionally, and financially. So when you spell it out in the beginning, before there's any fear emotion, there'll be inspirational emotion, there'll be creative energy that's flowing when you first come to me with the idea of changing your life and starting a business. So that's when I want to know, when your heart is open and your mind is open, I want to know with clarity what you're trying to achieve. And that's why we capture it on this goals and dreams worksheet. So if you're not working with me, I would encourage you to get a notebook and to write down. And even during your due diligence process, you probably should be going back to your goals and dreams worksheet and adding stuff to it. As things come into your head, as you start dreaming more about the owner that you want to be, about a day in the life of being an owner, after talking to other franchisees who inspired you, go back to your goals and dreams worksheet and fill it in. The more clear and detailed this worksheet is, the better it's going to work for you. So this isn't a tool for me. I mean, yes, if you're working with me, I'm going to ask you to send it back. But ultimately, I'm only doing this for your good. Because when you are at this moment of Discovery Day, and you are almost paralyzed with fear. And I smile and I laugh because just to lighten the moment, because I know how real it is. Look, I've done this for 19 years. I have coached thousands of people to this moment in their life. I understand how real this moment can be. And not to make too much of it, but I want to be real in this video because I want you to understand that I understand how you feel. And so this tool of having a goals and dreams worksheet is a fantastic tool to help you connect how you got here, what you're looking for, and why you want to say yes. The fear is never going to go away. This is just a tool that can help you push through it logically. When you can take the emotion out a little bit by making the decision a little more logical, because you've already put down your emotion on the paper, and now you can almost connect the dots. If I say yes to this business, I can be this kind of business owner. I can have these dreams and goals. I can achieve these financial results. I can live that quality of life. And in that moment, you may need a tool like this. Another tool that I use with my candidates is this amazing book by Dr. Susan Jeffers called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I encourage you all to purchase this book. Not just for this moment of going from a discovery day to a decision day, but for anything in life that requires you to step forward, to say, I wanted this and now I have to live up to the moment. Every single moment in your life where you're forcing yourself out of your comfort zone because you're daring to grow, because you're daring to risk, because you're daring to take on a challenge that you haven't yet taken on. This is life at its grandest moments. These are the moments in life that we will always look back on. But we need tools sometimes. The first time we're doing it, we need tools that can help empower us through that fear that can sometimes be so paralyzing. So this book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, is another tool that I would encourage you to pick up in the beginning of your franchise investigation process and carry it with you to this moment. The decision to say yes to a franchise business is a life-changing decision. If you've done everything that I've outlined here, you're using this Discovery Day as your closing tool. You should feel absolutely empowered and absolutely amazing. And you should dare to follow through and say yes to your dream. This moment won't come again. If you walk away and think, I'm going to do it in 3 months, I'm going to do it in a year, you won't, statistically. So don't put yourself in that position. Don't put your dream on hold because of fear. Push through the moment. Know that there's never going to be a great time to change your life and start a business. If you want the result, you've done the work now. You're here now. Don't question it. Don't doubt it. Say yes. And if there's anything that the Daly Coach can do to help you embrace this moment and feel absolutely confident that this is the right thing for you, I want to be your Daly Coach. Please feel free to leave a comment below or reach directly out to me at the Daly Coach. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, please don't forget to like and subscribe.